Greetings, Minecrafters! Nonsanity here, and welcome to episode 11 of All the Mods 3 Remix. I want to start a new base, because this one's getting a little bit cluttered, as you can see, and there's even more on this side. So, let's head into a void dimension. Let's get started. So, actually, before we head into the void dimension, you may notice there's some extra pipage here. I finally did something. The slag that I'm generating over here, it now goes out on orange and goes into this crafter here. The sawdust comes out on orange there, and the niter comes out there, and they're all going into here to craft together to make the phyto grow. And I've already made 20 since I set this up earlier today. 20,000 to feed the blaze production. Because, you know, why not? Oh, it's stuck on sap again, huh? Well, it's well ahead there, but it is now working. There's nothing going into the sawmill. Oh, because it's waiting for trees. It's actually gone through its whole backlog. I did this. I got tired of hearing the sawmill, so I put a sound dampener in there. I went ahead and I made a dragon mill because I had the egg. That required making the hand spinner just to make 4 stone burnt. The resonator, you probably know the resonator. This guy. And I just needed the this thing on top of it. So put that down, put this on top, and then you right click it. And I'm not holding it, touching the mouse button anymore. I right clicked once, and as long as I'm looking at this, it'll keep spinning. If I look away, it'll stop. I've got to right click again. But that gives power to the device below it, and I could put some, not smooth stone, it's polished stone, I think. Take 4 stone bricks, which I've got an excess amount from making the slag. And that gives you the stone burnt. Once I had 4, I can make that mill, and then that gives you 500, 500 GP. So I wouldn't need to do any more hand-powered. And I made a bunch of the materials that the resonator can make and then put it away. Alright, so want to make a new base. And, I guess before I do that, let's see, which way was it? It was this way, right? I want to show you something I did a couple weeks ago now. I had spent some time, and I thought, what do I want to do for a base? I want to do something futuristic. So I thought, I'll make a spaceship up in the air. And I'll do that over an ocean. Hey, look, here's an ocean. And I started playing with designs, and I redid the designs and so forth, and this is what I made. And I didn't like it. I mean, it's not horrible, but I just didn't like the way it provided space inside. Let's go inside there. You can see some of what it was starting to look like. I was going back to the Resonant Rise design. I even used the same paper blocks I used. Well, a paper block. I don't know if it's exactly the same. I don't remember what paper blocks I was using. But, it had these bands, which I thought, bits of it I like. They're starting to look not half bad, but I just didn't like the layout. So I said, this is the bad space. I don't like the way the space is. So I thought, if I'm going back to the Resonant Rise 3 base aesthetic, let's go back to the Resonant Rise 3 base design too. So let's go home. And this time I decided, instead of doing it out over the ocean, I would make a RF Tools dimension and build it there. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on this, but the first thing I needed to do was make an Enderman farm. And that's what this room was originally for. It's got down there the mob duplicator with fluid essence being piped into it and a range add-on that makes it this whole room. And I've got a mob crusher over there. And I'm using conduits, these guys. And I've got both an item conduit and a redstone conduit. And the item conduit is set to extract on redstone on this end, and on the end attached to the bottom of that, it is set to extract without redstone. And this redstone conduit connects back to a random things contact lever, which is a block that looks at the power status of the block in front of it. It's directional. So by placing it from where I'm standing, like this, let's say let's put it up here so you can see. Anything on this side, it's reading. So I put it down there, it's reading this block. So whenever this block has power, this block acts like a lever now. It's just a white lamp from Project Red. But when I right-click it, it actually acts like a lever. It doesn't. This block normally wouldn't do that, but that block behind it makes it act that way. And the fact that it is a light that is redstone powered makes it turn on and off, which is sort of nice. So when it's on, it sends. Well, let's see. Let's turn it off, and I'll show you here. I mean, I was using this in the last episode, but I realized I don't think I had shown it off. Let's just put white in there. So I put it in this drawer, and when I turn it on, that sends it out. And they're going, and then I click it, and it brings it back. This is the way I always set up my my mob farms. I really like that method, because then I can take it out and swap it for a different mob, and just have hot and cold running mobs of whatever type I want. That goes along with this one here, which has just the Enderman spawner that we made before that makes Enderman. And they're just getting killed by that trap there and getting picked up stuff. A few things are being kept in here, like the ender pearls. And, well, it's not ender pearls, the skulls, and wither skulls. And most everything else gets sent into this trash chest. I like using a trash chest because you notice I came over here to pick up the 2 limestones that were picked up by this. And they were sent to the trash chest, but I can get them back out again. As long as it doesn't get 27 unique items. The swords are the only really unique, and swords and bows are the unique items it gets here. But yeah, so that's working. And then the output from this mob crusher pipes down through the walls. Yep, comes out over here. And goes into the same storage that all this is using. So I've got, when I was running Enderman in here, I got not only ender pearls, but I got these guys, the dimlit parcels. And that was the whole reason for making this mob farm, though I knew I'd use it for other things. Dimlit parcels. When you right-click a dimlit parcel, you get some dimlit parts. See, I got 3 of these and 1 each of these. And I just can keep right-clicking and opening these up. Alright, that was noisy. And there I got a whole bunch of stuff. And eventually, the one thing I'm going to need, you see I've got a 0, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no 6. I do believe the ATM star does require a 6. And you can't make that. You can only get that from dimlet parcels. So having a good supply of dimlet parcels is good. Now back here I made the dimlet workbench. And if I open that up I can put these guys in there. I've got excess of some of them that I will take out. There, I think that's one of everything. But no 6s. So I haven't gotten any 6s yet. What am I going to do with these extra ones? I guess I'll keep them. Just get another crate. And we'll stick them in here. But yeah, once you've got these, you can go through this list of all the dimlets you can make. And if you know what you want to make, you can make it in here. So let's say you wanted, let's do an easier one. Do want a material because that's a little bit different. There we go. Maple woods. Actually, they're all sort of like this. You see, when you click one, here, click to marsh. You can see in the tooltip the 6 things it takes, and then it put them. If I have them, it brings them down here. But it was missing this one. That's like a block there. That is an absorber. In this case, a biome absorber. I'd have to find that biome, a marsh, drop the absorber in there, and let it suck up the biome. Then place that in here, and I can make the biome. Most of the biomes have the same recipe, except for that block has to suck up a different biome. I went ahead and made a dimension builder, a dimension inscriber, a dialing device, a meta transmitter, and for safety, a destination analyzer. That's why this is yellow instead of the usual green. It's the dimension analyzer telling me that it is what it is linked to exists and is safe to go to, but it is not currently chunk loaded, which is why it's yellow. If it doesn't exist or it's unpowered, it'll be red. And if it's safe and chunk loaded, it'll be green. Back here is a dimension editor. The pattern I was using was I would make a tab. This is a tab, dimension tab, and put it into the build. Put it into the inscriber. You put an empty tab there. Put the dimlets you want up in here, and give it a name, and then hit store, and it turns colored like that. You drop it in here, and it takes a lot of power to realize the dimension. Once it's powered up, the dimension is available for dialing. That's strange that it's not showing. I was playing around with the... Okay, get this. Yeah, non-space. I was playing around with the private setting, but that wouldn't let anybody else go through this transporter. I just want to make it so it wasn't showing up on other people's lists. But I'll mess with that later. It's fine for now. Oh, it turned green. It chunk loaded. I guess because I messed around with this. It has to stay in a dimension builder, so it keeps getting power. You can see the current power was ticking down. It looks like it costs 33 RF a tick to keep this void dimension. Now I can take this out and crouch right-click it. I can put it back in again. And if we look here, we can see that this is a void, sky dark, day, time noon, S body, large planet. Base seed. You don't set that, but you can change it by adding digit dimlets. World version 2, terrain void. This was a void world. Now the void dimlet is a little different. Void. in that you can craft it. Flat void. It's a very cheap recipe. Brick, redstone, paper. This is the flat dimension. I made a bunch of those. And that also fairly cheap, but you do need dimensional shards, which I've got. So it's train void. I left it default for the materials. So it's stone water, but that's okay. It's a void. It doesn't have anything. I gave it a time dimlet for noon, which means making a time absorber and putting a lever on it, and every day at noon, flip the lever. It was very patchy. It didn't work every day. I couldn't get it to be reliable, but I eventually did get it. And then a bug made it erased. And then I had to make it again because I can't find any way to spawn one in. So, because I do have op controls on this on this server, just in case the bug deleted it again, I made several extra copies. So I've got 4 extra time absorbers with noon in them here, just in case something happened. But it did work. I managed to make the dimlet. Actually, I'd made the dimlet before. I just lost the dimension. But this one seems to be stable. I've had it for a while now. What else is in there? Sun brightness, star brightness, sky color, fog color, cloud color. I found a large planet dimlet in a library in one of the fake dimensions I made, and so I tossed that in there. And I thought I made it, yes, sky dark. I wanted it so that it was, during the day, it was dark like night, but that didn't actually work completely. But it's good enough as it is. The one thing you want to do is you put a dimlet in here that is basically blank. In fact, you can put a blank dimlet. Put a blank tab in here with no dimlets. Give it your name or a couple of your initials, random, and then a -0. Well, no, just a dash in the first one because you don't have any digits in here. And you store that and you put it in here and power it up, and then you look for it with that name in the list. You set your destination to it. You go there, and it will be a random world. And you look for libraries, and the libraries have some completed dimlets. That saves you from having to build them yourself. So that's the general gist of how this all works. Let's go. When I'm exploring, I like getting my, what's it called? Well, I can just get it out as soon as we get there. There we go. Go to my thing. This guy. Phased field generator. When you're carrying that, if the dimension you're in loses power, it won't kill you. But this one shouldn't kill me. And it's raining. I don't like having rain on the episode, so let's... weather clear 10,000. That not only gets rid of the rain, but keeps it from coming back anytime soon. We do have a nice planet there. No sun, so maybe that's what the dark does. Just gets rid of the sun. Instead, we have this planet. So while it's not nighttime, it is always day, so solar panels here will always be powered. That's good. And we have that interesting planet, so it's an acceptable dimension. I did go around and destroy a couple of floating Tinker's Construct slime islands that were within viewing range. So, what am I going to do for this base? Well, I spent a lot of time in single player getting a design ready using LittleTiles. And this is what I've got. I have my LittleTile bag, my chisel, my hammer, a bunch of the patterns, and then some of these blocks that I'll be needing. So, where should I put the first piece? I just drop it right here. Sure, why not? This is the style I'm going to go with. Very futuristic. I like this. This is one of the crystals from environmental tech, the chironite or critonite. Actually, I don't have any on me, but I do have some in the bag. Chironite. It looks like I want to need some more before I build anything. Let's, chironite. That should be good. And we'll just toss that in the bag. Put some of these other blocks in the bag. I'm mainly using this colored block lighting clean from LittleTiles. Will it all fit? It looks like it'll all fit in there. All right, good. Yes, so this is the style I want to use, and there will be a liquid down in there of my choice. I haven't decided what yet. Let's take a look at it from the outside. It should look pretty good from the outside. Try to keep it clean. The underside's a little bit more messy, but that's just because I got the holes where the fluid display blocks will go to hold the liquid. It won't actually be the liquid. It'll just be looking like the liquid. Alright, so I got that. Let's add another piece. We'll add a hallway. And how's this one going to attach? Like that? Nope. Undo. Right here. And this is a hallway. Does a nice transition. So now at the end of this hallway, actually, I want to have like a control room over there. Let's put a room on each side of this with no hallway. So I need the entryway piece. Like that. It's going to go. Yeah, that is definitely not the right place. Let me get some scaffolding to help with placement. I think I want to go here. Nope, still not quite right. It's down one. So, right there. Yep, but I need to go back one too. So, right here. There we go. That's a clean transition. Oh, do I want the door? Oh, yeah, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. Do I want a door? I do want a door. Oh, I forgot to get the door. All right, well, let me do that now. Let me do the command, LittleTiles-import. That brings us to this interface where I can place a advanced recipe there. Let me switch over to another screen and find the door frame. Copy that text, and I come back here, paste, import, and there we have the door frame, which I think just goes like that. That's it. Now that's one block thick, so I'm going to move this forward. Now I can place the entrance to the room. Yep, that lined up perfectly. Oop. Very good. All right, now let's build a room. For that, I'm going to need this piece and this piece. So first, a corner. And that looks like it's going the wrong way. So what I need to do is I need to break this little strip here. And now hit this spot. Is that right? That's not right. Is this going the right direction? Yeah. Oh no, that's going there. Now it's going the right direction. But it's going the wrong way. Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you build these in a certain orientation. Let's do a G. Is that right now? And now I need to rotate like that. That looks right. Hopefully it's not flipped vertically, but we'll see in a moment. There's always the undo. So now I can come in here and hit that spot. And that looks correct. Alright. Now I can take the straight one and do the same thing. Break this little strip. And place the... Okay, I need to rotate it. And there. That's correct. Alright, good. We got it going now. Break the strip. Oop. Thought I heard two things break. Place it. Good. That's deep enough for the room. I'll do another corner, but we'll have to rotate it. Whoop. And then straight with the rotate. Just need one. Now we're going to do another corner. Again, rotate. Using the arrow keys to rotate. Straight away. Oh, what am I out? I'm out of white luminous block. Oh no. Those are a pain to make. And I don't have any more made. Alright. Luminous block. I'm using these Random Things luminous blocks. They take luminous powder, which requires glowing mushrooms. And there's no way to grow these things. I think I managed to make one spread, but it was super slow. The only thing I could do to make them is to run around the world with my digital miner, mining up Random Things mod items. But I have a few more left, enough to make a stack of the luminous powder. So I can make a few more of these. And I'll toss them in my bag. Alright. That's what all these white panels are. And they should all just be panels. Yes. I don't want to have any full blocks because that uses way too much. Now I also have these. These are no, that's the white luminous panels. With black strips that I place manually. I used to have the anti-blocks, which have the borders, but they just didn't look as good. These gray blocks are the, what did I call them? Colored block lighting clean, that are just darkened a little bit to make them gray. Alright, and now just one more corner. Rotated and placed. Alright, got all the walls. Now we just have to add the floor. And what I do is underneath, I've got two layers here. One is the floor that I want to see, and this underfloor is actually the same glowing block that all the walls are made of. This is going to be extremely well lit, I can tell you that. So I'm going to get my chisel here, and I'm going to middle mouse button click to sample the texture I'm looking at. Right click on one corner and right click on the other. And then do the same from this corner to this corner. Oop, wow, I'm out of that already. That is a large area. But that one's a little cheaper to make. Clean. Colored block clean, colored block lighting clean. I want the one that gives off light, which is the basic one with glowstone, which makes sense. Basic one, oh, it blocks the quartz. Hopefully I've got enough. Let's make 2, 3, 4. I had like 8 stacks of this, and I've already used it all up. Alright, and then I'll put these back and make the glowstone one, because I got plenty of glowstone from plants. Oh wow, I had a lot of extra. Way more than I thought. Okay, I'm set. I didn't even need to make what I had there. I already had some of the basic one in storage. Alright, now this should remember and let me... No, it didn't, because it failed. So I gotta fly across again. Now I can sample this one and do the same thing for the second layer with these blocks. I may need to make more of these as well. I think I only made a stack. Yeah. Not enough ingredients. ZTYL. ZTYL. It's this block, but you have to make the basic one with X tones. Oh, come in here. Make the basic. Oh, I need to make more of the Z tone blocks. Convert them to this family. And then in the inventory, hold down a hotkey and rotate with the scroll wheel to get to the design I want. And then do it for the other stack as well. There we go. Now I should have enough. And now for the top. Same trick. I don't have a lighting layer for that. I love how the little tiles let you... Yeah, I need more of that. That is Zoom. I love how LittleTiles lets you do such long distances. Make those, make these. I'll make 3 stacks, and then we'll convert them to that. And we have a completed room. Now each of the rooms, I can go back and I can change these white panels for any other color. And even put in fluid display panels to make them be animated. But it looks pretty good. I had a far more detailed, I had this tracing that goes around everything go diagonally across here. But unfortunately with LittleTiles, that means there's a lot of extra pieces. But yeah, so this will be a room, and I'll color code the rooms based on what I have in them. And then these stripes will be color coded leading to the room of that color. I guess I should show how to make that door. the door is sort of interesting. If I can place this one here, and now open it. See, it opens and closes on its own. And this was a bit of a trick. Let's break it and go into the pattern. This is an advanced door. I made the model. It's just a very simple shape. You can sort of see it there. Shift or... Can't seem to get it into frame. Oh well. You know what it looks like. Setting it to an advanced door, I right-clicked on the... I wanted to move up, which is the Y direction. So I'm going to do this on the X. I right-click, and that creates a keyframe. And you can see my mouse, as I move the mouse around, you can see the text changing. That tells me which frame of the animation I'm on. And this is at frame 10, so it's half a second. And there's a built-in one here at the beginning. And if I click on one of these, either the one at the beginning or this one, let's look at the one at the beginning. It's a 0 offset in the Y direction, 0 blocks, 0 micro blocks. And here it's 2 blocks and 15 micro blocks. The middle number is what size the middle blocks, because LittleTiles does let you go smaller micro blocks, or tiles. Actually, I consider them micro blocks because several micro blocks next to each other will form a tile, which is a larger shape. But I've been doing all my stuff on the default 16. So that tells you what this grid distance, this is the grid size. So I'm having to move up 2 and almost 3 blocks in over this period of time. It'll animate between these two. And then the next one is the same. So between them, nothing happens. It just sits there. And then it goes back to 0, same as the first one, over another 10 tick period, half a second. And that ends at 80. That is the length of the animation is 80 ticks. So let's get rid of this one. Just hit delete. No, left click. Right click, right click. Right click creates, right click destroys. So that sets up the animation of the door opening up, staying open for a while, and then closing. And then I also click cosine because I like it to... Actually, Hermite might be better. Nah, I'll go with cosine. That makes it a little bit smooth. And then I set the duration to 80. That's what this end period is. You probably have to do that first, so the range goes to the right amount. It's got some extra time here. You can't move them past 80. You're just trying to keep the intervals even, I guess, so it has a little bit of excess there. And that is all I did at this screen. But you notice it also had sound effects. So if you go into events, this list will be empty. What you do is come down here, and there's activate child, and you click it. There's also play sound event. So you set it to play sound event, and I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom so you can see it, and then click plus. I just created this new line here. What you're going to do is you're going to choose whether it's going to be happening on the opening or the closing. Now let's cancel this. When you open the door, it plays all of this, and then it stops at 80. When you click it again, it plays the whole thing backwards. This is why I've got the door opening, staying open, and then closing. At the end of this, it's in the open state, even though it visually is closed and won't let you through. But as far as the mod concerned, it thinks it is open. And then the next time I go to open the door, it plays the same animation backwards. It opens the door, waits a little bit, and then closes the door. So by having this whole animation, sometimes when I click it, it's opening, and sometimes when I click it, it's closing, but I can't tell the difference. So it gives me an automatic close in a sort of cheaty way. But that means when we go in here and we make a sound for when you click it and it opens, so in this case, right at tick 0, when the door is opening, we play that little chirp sound. You can type up here, chirr, and it shows me all the sounds in the game that have chirp. If you don't put anything in this box, then it shows you all of the sounds. So I went and I just started playing sounds until I found a sound I liked. I like the chirp. So once you know the name, you can type it here and get it back. I didn't touch the volume or pitch, but you can do that. And you can test it with that button and then save. So this one is the chirp on 0. And then the next tick, I started playing this Pneumaticraft scuba sound, which I thought sounds a lot like a Trekkie-style door sound. So I like that. And then it waits 10 ticks. Excuse me, no, that's closing. The next one is at 70 ticks, it starts to close. So at 0, it gets this tick sound and it starts to open. I probably could have made this 0 as well, but it's fine. It just lets me tell them apart because you don't see the name of the sound here. And 1 tick is barely perceptible. So for the first 10 ticks of the 80 tick animation, it's playing this whoosh sound. And then for the last 10 ticks of the 80 tick animation, starting at tick 70, it plays another whoosh sound as it closes. But having made these 3 sounds for the opening, I then have to do the same for the closing, but now in reverse. The beep beep sound starts at tick 80, so we're starting at 80 and going backwards for the closing. So for closing at 80, which is the beginning of the close, we play. And then 1 tick later, going backwards, we play the first whoosh. And then 10 ticks before the end, aka the beginning, which is at tick 10, we play the second whoosh. And that gives us the sound. Save this, and we've got our door. It opens and it closes on its own. It now thinks it is open, and I click it again. It'll do the same thing. Now it thinks it's closed. It doesn't really matter whether it thinks it's open or closed, because it's going to have the same effect, and that is the door. And I have the door, so I'm just going to put it in here, break it down for parts. For the life of me, I can't remember how to refill that. I know I've done it, obviously. I've just forgotten it. That bugs me. And to save you guys from having to type it in the comments, I'm going to freeze and look it up. Alright, I had it right. You put it in here. But when I put this whole stack in there, nothing happens. That's because you don't get just yellow for this, and these 2 are almost full. So if I put 1 in here, it works. I can see the yellows going up, but at some point, there, I can't put any more, because it would give me too much of one of these. Probably this one. It looks like it's almost full. I think if I right-click, it'll just drain it completely. I don't really want to do that. I guess I need to. Okay, no, it just drains it a little bit. So now I should be able to put more yellow. Yep. And I can put some of this back. And there, I can't put any more of that one. So you just put it in here, but you have to have enough room. For some reason, yellow also gives me magenta and cyan, which is a bit annoying. I'd like to be able to just put the one that I want. But that's the way it is. And I can toss this away. Alright, so you've seen the assemblage of one room. This is a fairly large one. I might make smaller ones with only putting one wall if the activity only requires smaller amount of room. What happens if I stand here? Ah, I'm in the door. I guess I can choose which side to go out on. Yep. So I'm going to put another room on that side and extend the hallway there with more intersections. It looks like I'll need to have at least... You know, I haven't checked to see if the hallway is long enough that I can put two rooms right next to each other with just one hallway between them. I need to hit G to flip this one and put it there. Yeah, I need to put a second hallway because that's more than halfway for that wall. Or I can make a... Oh, this isn't the right hallway. This is... Yeah, I guess it is. It is. It's the right hallway. I can extend it a little bit, make the hallway slightly longer. I might do that. That way it will fit. Let's do that. And we'll do that together so you can see how I go about working on these things. So we're going to extend the hallway by... Let's see. If this... Oop. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this. 6. 1, 2, 3. I want to extend it 3 more blocks. That way there's a small gap between the rooms. So I think the easiest way to do that is to use the existing structure. Oop. So I'm going to get my little hammer here. I'm going to left click here. No, right click. Yeah, left click. It may not like these blocks because it can't. Okay, it'll work. And then come down here to this corner, and that cuts away that whole slice of the hallway. You can see I've got gaps in it where I'm saving materials. I could probably save more, but like getting rid of this block that isn't visible anywhere. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I can get pretty far with this. Can I get that one? No, I can't get that one. Can I get in here? I can. Alright. Looks like I can probably get rid of that one too. It'll be hard to get them all. If I can get these. I really should get rid of these. And that too. I'll just break in from the other side here and see. What I can do is grab. No, that won't work. I'll just recreate this block. So I'm getting rid of that one and that one. Ah, I need to get rid of more. So get rid of that. And then one more. Oop. No, okay, that's the block from the center section. All right. Got rid of too much, but that block can actually go away too. Nope, not that one. I do like the undo. Nope, down. Can't see my crosshairs. There we go. So I get rid of these 2 blocks in order to get rid of... Oh. It's interesting. This one was missing already. It just helps to save on materials when these are never seen. Alright, that's clear. That's clear. I can still do these. Okay. So now, little chisel, hit the tool tip to bring this up. We're going to do a slice, and we're going to middle click to pick that up. And now if I look at the little preview, I can see it's rotated the wrong way. There, now it's the right way. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to click there, and that rebuilds those slopes. Do the same over here, but rotate there to there. Alright. All the rest of these are triangular sections that I want to keep. Everything else has been removed. Good. Now I need to extend it by 3 blocks. A slight break there because I found more that I could remove. So now it's pretty minimal. There's a gap all the way around except for these diagonal spots. So I really minimized the contents. So now I need to extend it, and I need to add on the end cap, which gives us this little gray stripe. This is part of this structure here, this gray stripe. It's just to mark the end. There's no visible connection on the inside, which would be right between these 2 blocks. Because this one block is part of this structure, and then this section is the start of the tunnel. But on the outside, there's that stripe. So, since I cut off 1 block and I need to add on 3, I need to copy 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And go down here. So we're going to get a advanced recipe card, and actually this one can be cleared. Not clear? Yes. So I'm going to left click this one and right click that one, and that's made a copy. But you notice it doesn't have anything in the card. I need to hit X, and I come in here and I see that it sees the little tile blocks in it. I'm not going to copy regular blocks. If I turn that on, well, actually I can't turn that on. But I don't want to copy regular blocks anyway. I just wanted to copy little blocks. There are no structures like doors and so forth, so this doesn't matter. Come in here and I'm going to hit save, because it's just going to be a basic piece. So now I've got the basic piece. I can do I guess I need to put it on this side. Oop. Like that. But it's going inwards. I need it to go outwards and turn around. So G, click it. Oh, it looks like I accidentally deleted some pieces from the end when I was cutting out all the interior bits. So I need to replace those. So I'm going to switch to my tool here, switch to box, pick up the color, and fill in these gaps. That side's good. And there it is. But now I copied that little symbol, and I got that little symbol. I don't need the one in the middle, which is where the end used to be. Let's switch my thing to normal. Alright, now the only thing that's missing is that I know that I broke some of the end caps on this end. So let's clear this little piece here and move these to the ends. And we'll make a new copy of the whole thing. Left click, right click, and we'll just come out here, an empty space, place a scaffolding. Again, we have to go in here, save it, and I can place it. Let's inspect it. This side is good, but this side will have some holes. Yep. Let me patch these holes. I could copy from the other side, but it's easier. Since there's just a few of these, to go ahead and do it manually. Oh. Oop. That needs to be cut away. Oop. Didn't get the whole thing. How far back does it go? I did cut away this, didn't I? Oh, I forgot to do it on this side, I guess. Alright, let's do that. Let's undo what I did. And instead we're going to click this corner. And that corner. That cuts away everything. Oh, it looks like this is bigger than it's supposed to be. I guess I need to be on fast. Ah, yeah. I didn't dig over. Alright, that one's okay. Make sure these are all just panels. Seem to be. Okay, so it's just down here that was not quite right. So we'll do, this is block, yep, here to there, there to there, there to there. Alright, that should be a full, oh, gotta finish over here. There. Oh, and okay. All right, I think that's good. Good enough. There may be a few extra blocks here and there, but should be good enough. One more time, clear this and go left click, right click, save, save. All right. And now I can go ahead and delete this whole thing by doing the hammer from here to here. Slight pause gets rid of all that. And likewise, now that this hallway has been updated, actually, shouldn't have gotten rid of those quite yet. I'm going to use them to delete this stretch of hallway. From there to there. All right. Now I should be able to place this hallway. There. Longer hallway, complete. And there should be plenty of room for another room. So I can make another intersection here with a room going off of it, and there'll be a room between them. Alright, I think that's going to do it for this episode. So, until next time, where I will have built more of the stuff here and maybe move some items up, I'll color code things and color code the stripes and maybe build some other things. I'm not sure. Like maybe a control room off that direction with the big screen looking out at the planet. That'd be nice. Give me any ideas in the comments for other structures I can make in this base. I do want to have some sort of vertical component. I can do ramps nice and easy. So maybe I can't do one of these round hallways sloping up. It's just not possible to have slopes at 2 different cardinal angles. So it'll have to be some other way to go vertical. Maybe an elevator shaft. Yeah, I can make an elevator out of a door. Just stand on the door and it goes up. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, give me any ideas in the comments and anything you can think of that might improve this base design. And I look forward to hearing from you. And everybody stay healthy. Stay inside if you're required to where you are, which pretty much everybody is at the time of recording. If you're watching this later, then I hope we survived. This is Nonsanity, signing out. Take care, be good, and see you next time.